run away. You say you wanted to. You wanna go back, you wanna go back to a place where we can hide. You wanna stay there, you wanna stay there, we can leave the pain behind. Stay, stay, stay.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I don't know why I'm showing you guys my armpits because they are dark and I haven't shaved yet, so let's put that down. Comments down, Willie. So today I'm showing you guys my summer foundation routine. Over the weekend I spent some time over at Waz Family's and it is super hot out there. Like I'm talking over 100 degrees, and I wore this foundation routine and it stayed on. As you guys saw in the intro, my friends and I, we went strawberry picking, and girl, it was scorching hot that day. I'm pretty sure it was like 104 degrees outside and my foundation stayed put. I'm just gonna let you guys get into the tutorial. I have already moisturized my skin, so that is ready to go. I find that it's very helpful to moisturize beforehand and just let your moisturizer sit for like a good 10 minutes. That way your skin just really soaks in the moisturizer and it's nice and plump when you go to put on your foundation. Now that my skin is moisturized, I'm gonna prime. You guys know I love this primer and it's only $3 from e.l.f. This is the Tone Adjusting Face Primer and obviously it is green. By the way, a lot of you ask me, where is this choker from? This is from Nasty Gal and it's actually one piece. It is so pretty. It makes me feel very feminine. The foundation I'm using, I haven't done a review or anything on it, but I have been using this for the past month or so, or maybe even longer than a month, and that is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation, and I have it in the shade Light Sand, which has a yellow undertone, so it works really well with my skin. By the way, do you guys like my eyeshadow today? I was trying to explore with different looks, so today I was like, let's try a glitter cut crease for monolids, because with monolids, a lot of those cut crease things, as much as they look good in pictures, but in real life, naturally how you move your eyes, like, I don't know, depending on how you look, your eyeshadow gets everywhere, it creases. So I'm just testing this glitter cut crease look out, and we'll see how it works. The brush I'll be using is this IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Flat Top Buffing Foundation brush. You can also use a beauty blender with this, but I feel like the beauty blender absorbs the product a little more than I wanted to because it's more of a serum foundation. It's kind of liquidy. Give it a good shake first. And it comes in a dropper. I prefer it over the pump because the pump tends to get clogged on me. I take about that much on my hand. As you can see, it's very runny. It's already running down my hand. Okay, so I get a little bit on my brush, and then I just like to kind of place the foundation on my face first. I don't completely blend it out, but I let the pigments just kind of sit on my skin. It's not getting fully blended out yet. I'm just laying it on. Just let it sit a little bit so that the coverage is nice and full. I find that whenever I pat it on my face and I just drag it out already, the coverage just is not as full, and I want to maximize my coverage. I'm just gonna go in and buff it out. Foundation, for some reason, is so satisfying. I love watching people put on foundation. I love putting on foundation. And yes, I am aware that my forehead is dark as fuck, okay? Every time I do a foundation routine, people are like, why is your forehead so dark? And I wish I had a better answer for you, but I think it's just because your forehead sticks out. And obviously the forehead is the first thing on your face that gets the most sunlight. So that's my only explanation as to why my forehead is so damn dark compared to my face. I love full coverage, so I'm gonna go in with a second layer of this foundation. I love this foundation for summer just because it is very buildable, and because it's such a liquidy light formula, it doesn't get cakey. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Pat it in the areas that I feel like I need the most coverage, which is around my cheeks, because this is where I get most of my acne scarring. This cheek especially is going through it. The other day I wore this out to go strawberry picking, as you guys saw in the intro, and it stayed on. It was like over 100 degrees out that day. I mean, I did get oily, of course, like I had to blot, but overall my blush and everything stayed. So with this routine, it really does stay on. Now that we have the foundation, I'm gonna go in with my new concealer. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Natural Radiant Concealer. This is my absolute new favorite concealer. You guys have to get it. It is so radiant. Like, for real, the name is right. It is radiant AF. So I just like to get some underneath my eye. The shade I have is light. It is so hydrating and it does not dry and cake up underneath my eyes. And even in 100-degree weather the other day, it stayed on. So I'm just gonna blend this in. I do like to go a little overboard with my concealer during summertime. You would think I would do the opposite because I'm like not trying to wear too much makeup because it's sweating off. But with this concealer, it is super light and natural. So even putting a lot on, it doesn't cake up. But because you have a lot on throughout the day, it just doesn't fade as quickly, if that makes sense. I couldn't find my beauty blender earlier, so this is a little difficult using a brush. But if you have a beauty blender, go ahead and use that. It makes it a lot easier. I'm not super precise with this part because it really doesn't matter to me. Whatever is left on my brush, I just kind of like to bring it up to my forehead. And now I'm just gonna do my bronzer. I am obsessed with this bronzer. This is the Too Faced Sweethearts bronzer, and the shade I have is Sweet Tea. Oh my god, it is the perfect bronzer. I first used this in Costa Rica because Sophie had it. After I used it once, I was like, I have to get it, and every single one of you out there need to get this because it is the best bronzer. It lasts all day. The color is beautiful. You have a highlight on this side as well. It's just amazing. With contouring, I like to use a small brush like this. This is from e.l.f. I can't talk and do this, so I'm just gonna put this on real quick. Whatever is left on my brush, I like to bring it up around the edges of my face. This just helps warm up the face entirely so it's not just bronzer on your cheekbones. I also like to take the rest of it down my jawline. So here's just a comparison between both sides of my face. This side with the bronzer, it just has a little more dimension to it versus this side. It is pretty flat. So I'm gonna go in and do this side as well. For the blush, I think I'm just gonna go with this one. This is from Too Faced as well. It's the Sweethearts Perfect Flush Blush in Peach Beach. Oh my god. Gonna use my Luxie 504 large angled brush. And I just kind of smile a little bit so my cheekbones pop up. But as you guys know, I don't really have cheekbones, so we're just gonna pretend they're there, but smiling a little bit does seem to help a little bit. So here we go. I like to go really light-handed with blush just because I don't want my cheeks to get way too cakey with like so much product, you know? I just put that on. Not too much. And now for my favorite part of doing this routine is highlight. Highlight is everything. It just adds to the glow of summer. It's the Tarte Amazonian Clay Highlighter in Exposed Highlight. Oh my gosh, it is so creamy and it lasts all day. Even after I blot my face with an oil blotting sheet, this baby stays on. So I'm going in with a Luxie 522 tapered highlighter brush. Just take a little bit of it. If you're like me and you seriously have no cheekbones whatsoever, you just have to kind of tilt your head, find the angle where it will pop. So the light is kind of hitting me there. Ignore my weird angle, okay? But the light is kind of hitting me right there so I can see where to place it. I'm just gonna go tap, 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 lightly. Slowly, you will see the highlights building. Just want to go light-handed with highlight at all times because if you have too much, it ends up looking muddy. And if it looks good, then I just kind of move it upward towards my temple just to give this area a little bit of a glow. You just want to hit that C shape right there. Yes. I mean, look at that side. Highlight on fleek. No highlight, there's a difference. So let's hit that highlight once again. Lastly, I like to put a little bit on the bridge of my nose. Nothing too fancy, like I'm not too precise with it at all. I'm not even going in with a smaller brush because it just works with the bigger brush too when it looks a little messy. I just find that whenever I do a super sharp contour line on my nose and like a super sharp highlight, it just doesn't really look right. It looks too fake. So I just go in and I'm kind of messy with it too. I just pop this on the tip of my nose, on the Cupid's bow, and whatever is left over, I do like to take it right here to the center of my forehead. Now the next thing I like to do is go in with my powder brush with nothing on it. I like to blend it out, just so there's no harsh lines and that the blush, the bronzer, and the highlight blends together so there are no harsh lines anywhere. To finish everything off, I just go in with a little bit of that e.l.f. HD powder just to set my blush and highlights. When you know you're gonna be outside sweating up a storm and stuff, just always set your makeup. Alright sisters, so that does it for this summer foundation tutorial. Be sure to leave me any requests that you guys have down in the comments below. I am starting to post twice a week now, so any type of recommendations would be appreciated so I know what to film for you guys and that you guys get excited. Thank you so much as usual for watching. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so right now. I will have a subscribe button right over here that you guys can click, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!